Mancini. Shot into the top corner. Milan find an equaliser, and it's El Shaarawy once again. Mancini knocking the ball back.
Ох, какой момент может быть, ну не успевают, 2-0.
El Shaarawy, 2-0. What a goal from El Shaarawy, his 9th of the season.
Plays him in, El Shaarawy's in here, can he finish? What a finish from El Shaarawy, that puts it beyond doubt. His second goal of the evening, and Milan take all 3 points.
With his fantastic mohawk, an iconic card in FIFA 12 Ultimate Team, and of course a bunch of talent in real life, Stephan El Shaarawy was once considered to be one of the biggest talents in football. But despite playing years at great Italian clubs, Il Faraone or the Pharaoh never actually fulfilled his potential. But why did he never reach his destiny? Stephan El Shaarawy is an Italian left winger who started his career at Genoa in 2008. He made his professional debut for the club at the age of 16. In the first 2 seasons, El Shaarawy only played 3 games for Genoa before joining Serie B side Padova on loan in the 2010-11 season. In the second division he scored 9 goals and gave 2 assists during the season, where he was even close to getting promoted with Padova to the Serie A, but unfortunately they lost in the playoffs final. He also won Serie B Footballer of the Year at Padova. In 2011, Genoa accepted the deal of 10 million euros and Alexander Merkel in exchange for the then 18-year-old youngster. In his first season at Milan, El Shaarawy played 29 games and scored 4 goals with 3 assists. But the next season is where he gained widespread attention for his great performances at AC Milan. He scored 19 goals and gave 7 assists in 46 games. AC Milan finished in an impressive 3rd place, and El Shaarawy was considered one of the most promising young players in the league. He was named the Serie A Young Footballer of the Year at the end of the season as well. To add to this, he was also named in the Serie A Team of the Year and in the Champions League Team of the Season, where he scored 2 goals in 6 games. He also became AC Milan's youngest ever goalscorer in the Champions League at the age of 19 years and 342 days. His best abilities were his pace, technical ability, dribbling and goal-scoring prowess, and he showed his strengths on a consistent basis throughout the season. The 2013-14 season is where it started to change though. Due to several injuries, El Shaarawy only made 9 appearances for AC Milan and scored just 1 goal. He kept having regular periods of being injured after an unsuccessful surgery on his right foot, which failed to heal effectively. In the next season, El Shaarawy played 19 games, scoring just 3 goals and giving 3 assists. The 21-year-old at the time did get injured again though, this time being sidelined for 3 months in the second half of the season. A loss of consistent performances and struggling with injuries, El Shaarawy's last 2 seasons were far less impressive. And of course, facing injuries means less playing time, and it also means that the club could sign new players to fill in that specific position. This is another reason El Shaarawy played less minutes than in the 2012-13 season. The likes of Bonaventura and Jeremy Menez both played multiple times as a left winger and both performed quite well during the absence of El Shaarawy. And so El Shaarawy felt like it was time for a change. He got a loan move to AS Monaco for half a season. The Pharaoh played 24 games for the Ligue 1 side, but he only scored 3 goals and gave 1 assist. At the end of this loan period, Monaco did some foul play by leaving him out of the squad. This was due to them having to activate the obligation to buy him if he played 25 games for the club. But a second loan move in the 2015-16 season, now to AS Roma, did get him back into better form. In 18 games, El Shaarawy scored 8 goals and gave 2 assists. He also scored a beautiful backheel goal for Roma.
Какой гол!
As El Shaarawy's transfer value rose from 14 million euros to 17 million euros during the second loan period, Roma saw more potential in him than AC Milan did. And so El Shaarawy made a permanent move to AS Roma in his 2016 summer transfer window. In the following season, El Shaarawy played even better and he scored 12 goals and gave 9 assists in 44 games. Whilst El Shaarawy kept proving his worth for Roma in the 2017-18 season with another 9 goals and 7 assists in another 44 games, he just couldn't find his best form he had in his first season at AC Milan. Of course, he has seen a few managerial changes and different playing styles over the last few seasons, which almost certainly had a negative effect on finding the right rhythm and getting the confidence he needs. A few minor injuries in the 2018-19 season didn't stop El Shaarawy to have another notable season at Roma though, scoring 11 goals and giving 7 assists in 33 games. And so, instead of being a one-season wonder or an injury-prone talent, El Shaarawy became a consistent performer in the Serie A with even a decent goal-to-game game ratio. However, an offer from Chinese Super League side Shanghai Shenhua was something the 26-year-old Italian couldn't refuse. El Shaarawy played 19 games in China, scoring 4 goals and giving 3 assists. But this all happened before COVID hit. At the end of the January transfer window in 2021, El Shaarawy moved back to AS Roma on a free transfer. His transfer value was at an all-time high with 30 million euros before leaving to China. Just 1.5 years later, and El Shaarawy's market value went down to 8 million euros, a low that he didn't have since almost a decade ago. And as he moved back to Roma for the second half of the 2020-21 season, El Shaarawy played just 14 games and scored 2 goals and gave 2 assists. He also had a few minor injuries and a lack of fitness which stopped him from playing more minutes. In the 2021-22 season, El Shaarawy got back to constant playing minutes, where he played another 36 games for AS Roma but failed to really impress again, although he did still score 7 goals and he gave 1 assist. And in the current 2022-23 season, he has played 14 games so far but failed to get a constant run of form going, and also a regular spot in the starting 11 at Roma, where he scored just 1 goal and provided another 1 assist. His current market value in 2023 is just 5 million euros. El Shaarawy has an Italian mother and an Egyptian father, but chose to play for the Italian national team instead of Egypt. Egyptian officials apparently did try to include El Shaarawy into Egypt's squad in 2010, but he preferred to join the Azuris as he already played multiple times in the youth ranks for Italy. This decision did eventually come back to bite El Shaarawy, as Egypt actually managed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup and Italy didn't. Egypt had tough competition to make it through the qualifying stage, but did actually manage to qualify again for the first time in 28 years, whilst Italy did not manage to make the World Cup for the first time in 60 years. For the Italian national team, El Shaarawy played 29 games for them so far, scoring 6 goals and giving 4 assists. He previously missed the 2014 World Cup with Italy due to injury, and unfortunately for him, he only played at one big tournament with Italy at the Euros of 2016. He only played 8 minutes at the Euros, and Italy eventually got knocked out against Germany in the quarterfinals. So with a bit of bad luck due to injury and Italy not reaching the World Cup in 2018, El Shaarawy is yet to make an appearance at the World Cup. A small fact about El Shaarawy is that he got his nickname Il Faraone, or the Pharaoh, from his Egyptian heritage, as Egyptian footballers are normally referred to as the Pharaohs. Overall, it is difficult to pinpoint one specific reason why El Shaarawy didn't make it to the top, as there are likely a number of factors that had an influence on his career. A few injuries, some managerial changes, and the lack of consistent runs of form for a longer period were definitely a few key factors that changed the outcome of El Shaarawy's career. But in contrast to many other Wonderkids who didn't fulfill their full potential, El Shaarawy actually seemed to have the right mindset. He was down to earth, cooperative and fair-minded. And that makes it all the more unfortunate that he didn't reach the top he was destined to achieve. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found it interesting, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more football stories, and I will see you at the next video.